Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Big for One Gaming here. Welcome back to episode 114 of Winning a National Title with every team in the game. If you guys have missed any of the episodes, up in the right-hand corner will be a playlist from episode 1 to 114. If you weren't able to watch those videos, I completely understand. Down in the description below will be a record of every team that we have done so far, and their season they eventually won a national title game. Obviously, with this episode, after this one, we'll only have 20 teams to go. If you guys want to skip the wheel, write a comment down below. As you guys can tell, I am struggling with words, and we're just going to roll with it. We're doing this live. But we're going to spin the wheel. Any teams like Miami, Oklahoma, TCU, Penn State are a couple big ones. And we're going to go with Wake Forest here in this one. So Wake Forest is one of the teams that I don't think we have done in the ACC. And it is correct. We still have Miami to do. But I think now with Wake Forest, that is the last ACC team. So Wake Forest is the last one. They are an 81 overall. We are a scheme guru head coach. And they've been okay the last couple of years. So we're looking to make them very good. And making a college football playoff here in a couple seasons. Taking a look at our coaching abilities, we do have recruiter, which is very, very nice, mostly for the offense, especially running back and O-line. We do have scheme guru, mostly for the same thing. And we also have strategist. I don't really do a lot of visits until late in the year, but we shall see if that happens here. Our offensive coordinator is pretty much the same thing with recruiting and scheme guru. Same thing. I'm hiccuping now every second. With our defensive coordinator, nothing for that, but we can scout everybody, and then, of course, the boosts for everyone as well. Looking at our roster, though, we do have a 90 overall left end. We do have an 86 left tackle and 86 wide receivers, so those three guys will be leaving us. We're losing 4 of our top 5 guys to graduation. We do have a really good halfback. We do need quarterback. We do have 2 freshmen, but we also have 2 seniors. Halfback is fine for now, at least for this season. Wide receiver needs speed other than Mays Jr. here. Tight end's okay, but he's going to be gone. Offensive line pretty much needs depth and just development. Same thing with D-line. We actually kind of need some defensive tackles, but besides the point. Linebackers, we're going to need. Corners, a desperate need for speed. We have a 97 free safety? All right. And safeties actually are looking pretty good. We do need a punter here in this season. But anywho, I'm going to go ahead and get started here, and I'll see everyone at the end of Season 1 here with Wake Forest. And here we are after Season 1 here with Wake Forest. We go 8-4 on the season. Actually, very decent season. Started out beating FCS, beating Virginia, lost to Ole Miss, beat Louisiana, then lost to NC State and Clemson, but then won 4 in a row against UConn, Stanford, Cal, and North Carolina before losing our final game to Miami. But we also beat Duke 38-30 to move on to be 8-4, and we are a 2.5-star school. Maybe that can improve. We're going to keep both of our coordinators as well. So all we got to do, we just signed a 3-star right end, is hopefully win our bowl game and go 9-4 on the season, which would be even better than 8-4. Will Howard wins the Heisman Trophy, 3,500 yards, 35 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's pretty good. And we'll be taking on Baylor in the Gasparilla Bowl. They are ranked 11th for Baylor. But we're going to go ahead, simulate to an end-season recap here, see how everything goes in the college football playoff as well as our bowl game, and hopefully it was a win. Obviously, we won't be able to look at it, but they were ranked 11th for a reason. I remember what Baylor's starting one was, but I think they were like, oh, we did win. We're 9-4. 3-star school, pro potential goes up, conference prestige and coach stability go up to an A+ and A respectively. And we will have some players want to transfer out, which is a little unfortunate, but it looks like Ohio State wins it all here in Season 1, 41-38, with Oklahoma State, North Texas, Alabama, Michigan, and Florida State as the automatic qualifiers, with Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, and Miami, Clemson as the at-large bids. But that's going to end season number 1. It is on to season 2 here with Wake Forest. And here we are in season number 2 here with Wake Forest. We go 11-1 on the season, having to play Florida State in the ACC championship game. So a very good season here. We only lost to Virginia Tech, and it was only by 1. We also beat Florida State earlier on this year, and we destroyed Virginia. We beat up on Duke, beat up on UConn, beat up on NC State, and had a couple close wins, but still, it was a very good season all the way around. So if we can win this game, we are going to get a bye. If not, we're still going in the first round of the college football playoff. And we lost. So we are now the 4th team in the nation after that loss. We did win a Player of the Week. I kind of want to see what the score was. We also had a National Defensive Player of the Week, only getting 4 tackles. It's kind of wild. But Lester wins the Heisman Trophy. The Washington quarterback, 3,600 yards, 39 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. For that. We'll be playing USC in the college football playoff, so we are going. But we did lose to Florida State. What was the score? 34-7. Okay. Well, that's a little unfortunate. But let's check out the bracket before we head into the first game. Kansas State, Penn State, Florida State, Boise State, and Texas A&M. Texas A&M ruined it. We could have had all state teams. But Washington, Clemson, Georgia, Iowa State, Oklahoma, and USC Wake Forest with the at-large bid. So, never know what can happen here. But it's time for our first college football playoff run here with Wake Forest. But let's get started here against 9-3 USC. And they're in 89. We are in 84. So this one will be a tough one if we can even try to get a win here. But making the college football playoff is definitely good for us. We just need to win. But let's see how we do. We're starting on offense first here in this one. And our first drive ends in a touchdown. Their first drive continues going into the second quarter, and they will tie it up. We get another touchdown to take a lead, but they will get a field goal before half to be down by 4. So 14-10 lead for us. USC gets a touchdown. We get stopped, and we're going to the fourth quarter down by 3 here at home. USC with a big couple first downs. Now it's a touchdown. It's a 10-point game. And we go for it on fourth down. We get it, but we're taking up a lot of time. We do get a touchdown, so we're down by 3. Defense needs to stop. They get one. So now all we need is a field goal with under a minute to go. We are in field goal range. We get a touchdown with 28 seconds to go. And Wake Forest will pull it off. A 28-24 win over USC. And we are moving on to go play Texas A&M. That's a good win. I mean, we'll take it. We're not going to complain. It's a tough win, too, against a very tough USC team. But, man, what a win. Especially with only a couple seconds to go, getting that big touchdown. So we are going to be playing Texas A&M in the Sugar Bowl. And checking out the bracket, Oklahoma beat Iowa State. I almost said Ohio State, but Iowa State. Clemson beat Georgia, and Kansas State destroyed Washington. Wow, okay. But we get another tough one here against a Texas A&M team. But let's get started. They are 11-2 here on the season. And they are at 90, so even better than the last team we just played. So this will be fun. Now, this time we don't have the home field advantage. There is no advantage here for either team here. So we have to win here to move on. And let's see how we do. We're going to start on defense first here in this one. If the defense gets a stop and we get a touchdown, then the defense allows a touchdown. So it's tied up 7-all at the end of 1. Texas A&M started with the football in the second quarter but can't do anything with it. And they get a touchdown after a turnover to take the lead 14-7. Second half now. Still nothing doing here in the third quarter. We're going to the fourth. It's 14-7. The defense has really kept us in this game. Now it's a 1-point game since we missed the extra point, but we get a turnover. That is big. We get a field goal to take a 2-point lead. But I don't think that's going to be enough. But we do get a stop and a turnover and Texas A&M scores a touchdown. And they get a stop and another one. And that 2-point lead that we had turns into a 12-point loss. 28-16 win for Texas A&M. I thought that big blue line was for us, and we get a touchdown on one play. And that would have pretty much had us move on. But it was a turnover, and Texas A&M scored off it. So it is unfortunate, but hey, our first run was not bad going to the second round here with Wake Forest. So, simming 2 weeks now and see who ends up winning it all here in season number 2. But hopefully we can take this season and move it to next season and hopefully be even better. We are now at 3.5-star prestige. Pro potential and coach prestige improve, but we still got like 5 players want to transfer out, so hopefully they don't and we can get some improvements. But Florida State ends up winning it all. 45-37 over Texas A&M. Florida State popped off a little bit. They beat Penn State in overtime by 2, 50-48, 98 points total. It's kind of insane. And then they beat Texas A&M 45-37 in regulation. But that's going to end season number 2. It is on to season 3 here with Wake Forest. So here we are in season number 3 here with Wake Forest. We go undefeated 12-0. And this time we have to face Clemson in the ACC championship game. I mean, we played like 10 in a row before having a couple bye weeks, or 11 in a row before we had a couple bye weeks to play UConn at the end. I mean, this was a tough season, but then again, we had a couple easy wins like against SMU. FCS, for some reason, we only won by 3. Northern Illinois, we won by 31. A couple only 3 and 4 point wins here this season. So it was a lot. It was a close season overall. But again, same thing as last year. A win, and we get a bye. A loss, and we got to play in the first round again, and we did lose. I'm not surprised. We're bound to lose at some point. This guy had 14 catches, 190 yards, and a touchdown. How in the world did we not win? What was the score? At this point, I don't think we played Clemson this year, and we lost 41-20. Well, that's probably why he had 190 yards, because at that point we were throwing the ball the entire time. So we will have to play in the first round again in the college football playoff, and hopefully we can win the first round and move on, just like what we did last year. DJ Lagway wins the Heisman Trophy, 3,200 yards, 38 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. We don't win any awards, and we'll be playing USF in the college football playoff in the first round. USF, Boise State, Florida, Arizona, and Oregon were the automatic qualifiers, with Clemson, Georgia, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Oregon State, Ohio State, and Wake Forest as the at-large bids. So this will be a tough one to move on, but our second run in the college football playoff, let's see how it goes. So let's get started here against 10-3 USF. And they are a 79 overall team compared to our 85. So I don't know how in the world they got here-wise as a 79 overall, but it could be bugged with the overalls-wise, I guess, because the last couple episodes have been bugged pretty bad with overalls-wise. But starting on defense first, the defense gets a stop, but nothing doing for our first drive, and then they get a touchdown to take a 7-0 lead after 1. Second quarter, we get a field goal. They will get another touchdown, so it's 14-3 at the half, and not looking good here for Wake Forest. Still 14-3. Now it's 14-9 after a big touchdown for us. Finally, our first one of the game. And heading into the fourth, we get a turnover to start the fourth quarter. But we do need a touchdown to take the lead. And we get one on fourth down. It's a 1-point game. Defense gets a 3-and-out. Now we need a touchdown on offense, or at least a field goal, but we have to punt. And we get another stop on defense. We get a first down. We get another one, too, and that's going to do it. Wake Forest will win by 1 point, a 15-14 victory with a couple touchdowns, but missing the extra points or missing the 2-point conversions. So, luckily, we do move on to go play Oregon in the college football playoff here in the quarterfinals, especially after a first-round win here against USF, which is, a little surprising, but all in all, a win's a win, and we moving on. But Oregon will be a lot tougher team, even though we only won by 1 point the last game. So there is that. We do have to hire staff. Who decided to leave us? Our defensive coordinator decided to leave us. How dare he? But all in all, but yeah, let's see how it goes. So let's get started here against 10-3 Oregon, and they're in 88. So yeah, this will be a lot tougher opponent. But yet USF had to be better than a 79 for us only to win by 1 point, especially only scoring 2 touchdowns in the game. But the defense really held out there in the second half without allowing a point. So hopefully they can do that same thing again here against Oregon, where we start on defense first. The defense gets a stop. We get a touchdown. We get another stop on defense, so we're up 7-0 at the end of 1. Defense gets another stop until late in the game, or late in the first half, where they allowed 2 touchdowns back-to-back, but it's 14-10 at the half. We get a turnover on defense, but unfortunately can't do anything with it. We get another field goal, and only down by 1 here in the fourth quarter. Defense gets a stop again. They have been constantly getting stops. The offense needs to at least get a field goal. They do. So we are up 2 points here in the fourth quarter. And another stop by the defense. 4th and 20. They don't even get close, and that's going to do it. A Wake Forest 16-14 win. In the last 2 games, we have won by a total of 3 points. Can the offense just score like 20 points for once? So we can have an easy win. I mean, we're moving on, though, to the semifinals now after a close, very close win. But we will take it. And the team that we'll be playing against is going to be Ohio State. That's really unfortunate. I was kind of hoping for Arizona. But Ohio State won. Oklahoma and Boise State are playing each other in the semifinal game, where us and Ohio State are playing each other in the other semifinal game. And Boise State is undefeated, so let's see if they make it. But this will be a tough game either way here against a very tough Ohio State team. But let's get started against them. They're 13-2 on the season, and they are a 90 overall. So again, another tough team that we have to go up against. And this is probably a true overall. It's not bugged, obviously, since they're above a 90 pretty much. So, but we got to play well. And we're going to start on offense here first. The offense goes down and gets a field goal. The defense allows a touchdown, so it's 7-3 at the end of 1. As I'm kicking my chair. It's 10-10 after a touchdown and a field goal. We get a touchdown to take a 17-10 lead at the half. Now it's tied up with Ohio State getting a touchdown. We get a field goal. They get a touchdown to take a 24-20 lead going in the fourth quarter. Another close game. We get a touchdown and we lead by 3. Defense gets a stop. That's what we needed. A couple big plays. And again, another first down and a touchdown. We were up 10 points with 3 minutes to go. We had a 4th down. They get a touchdown, so it's a 3-point game with 2 minutes. All we need is a first down, and we don't get one, so we have to punt. We just need a stop on 4th down. We get one again, and Wake Forest is moving on. We have won these games, these 3 games, by a total of 6 points. We win 34-31, and we're moving on to the national championship game. Close win, a 1-point win against USF, a 2-point win against Oregon, and now a 3-point win against Ohio State. Like I said, I wanted the team to score 20 points, and we scored 30 points. So, hey, smile. But one more game stands between us and another team down. And that team is going to be Oklahoma. So they ended Boise State's undefeated run, but it will be Oklahoma, which is another team we have not done yet. They won 27-20. They scored 44 on Florida and 45 on Tennessee. So this will be a tough one here against an Oklahoma team, but hopefully we can win our final game here. Let's get started here against 12-3 Oklahoma, and they are at 89. So this will be a tough one here again. But we have to figure out a way to win. Get stops on defense. Score on offense. It needs to happen. So hopefully we can do that. And we're starting on defense first here in this one. The defense gets a turnover, and we get a touchdown to take the lead. It's 7-3 after Oklahoma scores. I almost said Oregon. But it is what it is. It's still 7-3 at the half, so we do have a lead. And we start with the football. Unfortunately, can't do anything with it. We get another touchdown. It's 14-3 here in the fourth quarter. With Oklahoma having the football, down 11. 4th and inches, they go for it. They get a first down. 4th and 10, they go for it. Don't even get close. We go for it on 4th down and get a first down. It's now a 14-point game. Kind of surprised we just went for it there. They get a touchdown to be down by 7 with a minute 40 to go. A first down would have ended the game, but we can't get one. A minute to go. Defense gets one more stop, and Wake Forest has officially won it all. A very tough road here. With a total of 6 points in the first 3 games, we win by 7 here in the final one. So in total, we win by 13 points in our total of 4 games. As you saw in the regular season, I mean, we won by very few points half the time. So this makes sense. That person just went through that other person on the screen, and I'm kind of freaked out. But anywho, it's another team down, and we'll check out the stats before we go. And yeah, that's getting very close to the end of the series here. So, looking at the stats, Helinski, I think that's how you say the name. 3,400 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Not a very good season passing-wise, but only 22 touchdowns, not very much. Winfrey had 10 total touchdowns with 821 yards. Smith, 314 with 3. Helinski with 210 and 3. Alexander, 98 and 2. David with 64 and 1. And Carney, 29 and 1 as well. Receiving-wise, Gerard had 988 receiving yards with 10 touchdowns. Alexander, 693 and 5. DeLuca, who is 6'6", 250 with 593 and 1. Smith, 486 and 1. Mays Jr., 281 and 1. Yaboa with 205 and 3. And Winfrey, 236 and 1. Defensive-wise, Robinson led the team with 81 tackles. Walton and Glenn both had 10 tackles for a loss. Harrison had 13 sacks to lead the team. Hodge, Stevenson, and Cook all had 4 interceptions. We did force a good amount of fumbles and recovered most of them. Not most of them. We recovered 8 of them. And we forced a bunch. That's 8. We've had 10. Yeah, that's still most of them. Harrison and Escalante both had blocked kicks. Harrison had a safety, and we did have 2 defensive touchdowns. Look at that. So the trifecta here for the Wake Forest team. Carlson did miss 7 field goals from 50. My goodness. Maybe that's why we had a lot of close games, because we missed 7 from 50 yards. We did miss 1 from 20, but we made every extra point, so he was 30 of 38 for the season. Punting-wise, Jamie with 3,300 yards, 16 inside the 20, and 10 touchbacks. And no kick or punt return touchdowns here in the national championship winning season. That's going to do it for the episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, hit that like button down below. It is free. It really helps out the channel. Also, if you guys want to see a team that we have not done before, write a comment below. Just make sure you guys check the description just so we don't use a team that we've already done before. But there's only about 20 teams left, but Oklahoma is one of them that we have not done yet. So if you guys want to see them, go ahead and write a comment down below. But anywho, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, week, weekend, whenever you guys are watching this. And I'm out. Peace.